All right, so we have Leyla Diamondi. She's a vocalist, singer. Um, has released on prominent record labels such as Monster Cat. Worked with No Mana. Um, I met her at Amsterdam Dance Event in 2023, and we made a song together. And we did get it on Bass Lounge, which is an editorial playlist on Spotify. So, without further
Yeah.
ado, um, introduce yourself. I guess maybe we can start how you first got into music.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just always there. I had done a bunch of internships, um, politics and finance, and the more I was growing up, the more I realized I wanted my hobby to be my profession. And I just went for it. I turned 18, I was like, this is what I want to do. So I got myself more educated. I mean, it's a forever education. I'm constantly educating myself on music, but yeah, at the start it became something that I desperately wanted to pursue, and now I hope to be able to give the love and like understanding that I experience from music to other people. So that's kind of yeah how I started.
Nice, yeah. Um, I guess how did you, I guess, collab with No Mana, or how did you like find those first opportunities? You think what helped you? Do you think
Cold pitching,
cold
literally
pitching?
just
That's how I did it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had these top lines that I pitched to a company I was working with, who I'm still very good relationship with. But at the time, their clients wanted more spoken word based vocals, more in the techno scene, and I wanted to do more like vocal sung, vocal driven top lines. So I sent these top lines off to them. They came back and said, "You need to improve your songwriting." And I was like, you know what? I actually really think that these top lines are good. And I was like, I really like, specifically falling in love. I was like, I really like this top line. I'm going to trust my instincts. And at the time, Jordan's No Manners music was someone that I was really enjoying. I was kind of looking at all like the Mousetrap artists because I just thought, I thought the selection that Dead Mouse had picked was really strong. Like all the producers really knew what they were doing.
Mhm.
I thought the quality was very good, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna send this and see what happens. Like, what's what I have to lose? And I sent it off to him, and I think at the time he was in a place where he was developing his EP or album, that his body of
The
music,
album for Monster Cat.
the flashing lights. That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just kind of aligned. It was like a perfect marriage, and I'm very grateful for the experience of working through like the journey of the beginning to the end, and observing how the song developed and how many different versions of the song existed. It was like I think it was the 22nd version of that song that got released in the end.
I can relate.
So yeah, so there was many versions, and I was like, Jordan's so good at taking alternative advice. He sent me track the version 16, and over one evening, I think I stayed up until 2 a.m. I said, "Hey, this," and he took the bits that he related to, and he ignored some of the stuff that I said, which I loved. That he ignored some of that stuff, and he made something better than I could have imagined. And I was like, "Yeah, this is really cool." So I was grateful to be a part of the production as well. He's a very good collaborator, a very professional worker, really good at just kind of setting direction with stuff. And yeah, it was a very important step in my professional growth. So
Nice.
yeah, just the experience itself was more valuable than the release, I think. Like just to observe was very special for me.
Right, and I
Yeah.
can speak like on like No Mana has a Patreon himself, and it's like Jordan. Like I could tell, like he's very technical with just his mixing and mastering, and the technicalities of like songwriting and production as well. So I also gain some, insight through that as well.
Yeah. I just like I love all the I found Kindred first. So Kindred is a artist that was on Mousetrap. That's how I found
I know
Mousetrap.
Kindred. Yeah.
Um, it's really cool. And I just became obsessed. I think Dead Mouse has a very good ear for quality.
Hmm.
And I mean, I just respect it. I don't know, I respect the art form. I don't know how to produce like you or any of these guys out here, so I respect the art form of being able to communicate feeling without words in that kind of way.
Right, and
Um,
it's kind of like songwriting too. In some ways, there's a way to
yes,
communicate emotion
absolutely.
through that. I believe so.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and it's a form that I respect. So just being able to be close to the magic, I am very grateful for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Hmm. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I think like also like in this podcast with the other guests I've had, it's kind of like two-way street, like with like like it's a conversation with like whatever like comes up to the table. Like if you have questions for me or if I have questions for you, you know.
yeah. We can talk about our song as well. I remember,
Yeah, that would
so
be a good place.
We met during ADE, and I remember being this nervous wreck,
I
and
was
just
too.
like
At the
sitting down.
EDM.com mixer, it was.
Yeah, at that hotel that with the little. I remember sitting down at the table, and you guys were kind of there, and I was like smiling ear to ear. And I was like, "Oh my god, hi!"
Yep,
I
I
was out of
remember that
place.
moment.
Yeah.
I was like, "What do we do?"
Yeah. I was like, "Oh my god, you make music? No way!"
I remember that. That was fond memories for sure.
Ah, absolutely. And it was so organic. I think from how we met to then the process of you sending the track that I ended up writing on and performing on, it was so organic, like how our friendship developed and how the song kind of came together. I feel like it was such a nice transition and everything kind of just fit into place really well. Um, yeah, I think that's probably like the most organic, seamless process of the beginning of a relationship to the release of a song. And that was really fun because it was literally like just hanging out with my friend and making stuff. Like it was so fun to just
Exactly, like back
write.
and forth collaboration.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such an innocent process and it was just about making a song together and just having fun and that was
And just making the
really
best
really
song we could, through that collaboration. I think, you know, that went through, from my memory, a few revisions, and it was just like getting the vocals to sit right within the mix with that wall of reverb through all of it. That was
yeah.
very hard to tame, I think, in the final production of it. So, but we got it,
Yeah.
and then I think even like whenever I released the song and then the EP, like marketing it was even more difficult because I was self-releasing it,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how I was going to do it. But it's like we like at the time I was working with someone who was lightly helping me with marketing. We did a billboard. I'm like, okay, let's just do a billboard and see what happens, sort of thing. Um, and I think you know doing spending some money on Instagram ads probably helped a little bit as well, and TikTok and various content ideas. And I've seen you've put a lot of effort, and we're still putting effort into this song. It's kind of like interesting how we're doing it, still to this day.
Catalog still has power, still people to listen, Yeah.
Weird. Yes. So, what's your like thought process with continuing to promote a song like after the release, say like months like after? I'm curious.
I mean, so I don't know what source I got this information from, but Travis Scott, well, it was a very interesting case study of someone who had released a song and continued to promote his track for like 4 years, I think, before it actually blew up. And he just said he just kept on pushing one song for 4 years and just kept pushing that track and pushing that track. I think he might have been doing an interview on Capital, and I was actually Capital Radio in the UK, and I was actually on the way to school listening to the radio in the car and being like, recognizing the artist, and I had just discovered Travis, and he was just becoming hot. And the radio presenter had actually said that he had blocked Travis for like harassing him over DMs on social media. Um, and I remember that really stuck with me at the time. The kind of like just being shameless enough and confident enough to just go for it, and no ego, just all chips down. And I think I've tried to do that with my work in an authentic way, because social media can be difficult to navigate your authentic self, and also streams and numbers matter. And so I try to be authentic to myself, and I'm still navigating like what works and what doesn't work for me. But yeah, just like it's a good song. I really like Wait a While. I think we made a little piece of magic. And I think my role was to make it, and now my role is to give the opportunity for other people to hear it.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that perspective.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
like I'd say a good reminder for my other releases too. It's like keep pushing the music, keep um, making new content ideas for various other songs. Because whatever for whatever reason, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago, I deleted some of my SoundCloud catalog. I'm like, why did I do that? But then now it doesn't whole with this rebrand I'm doing. It's a whole other
hmm
opportunity to make new content, for older releases. Since I'll probably be re-releasing these tracks on SoundCloud. I mean, they're still up on Spotify, but just kind of getting
I'm
back to your point,
excited.
just to like go back and like keep creating content for new people to discover the music.
Yeah, I think us as artists, we have a need to create more, and we have a need for new and change. And I personally find it really hard to stay in one place, because I love growing and exploring and expanding. But a brand is a brand. I'm very excited to see your new brand as well.
Hmm.
Yee!
Yes, yes.
Uh, but the music's out there. It meant something when you made it, and the business side is making sure that people hear it, and you just got to do it. Like it has to be done. As boring as it can be sometimes, and as tiring as it can be, it takes one little step forward to open the next door for the next step forward. Um, so yeah, I believe in the song, and I think that's what's motivating me. And in the tracks that I really believe in, it's very easy now to just want to go more. Like people
Y-
should hear this song.
yeah, I agree. And it's like sometimes I think for myself I forget about that, just with like older music that I've released, and just in generally speaking. And it's like even my collaboration with AU5 on Affiliate Records, Seven Lines is label. It's like that song was like 2 years ago now, and it's like one of the best songs I've made. And like my Monster Cat track Neo Soul, it's like from 5 years ago, and people still love it to this day. And I'm like forgetting about like why don't I create content around this or something like that, you know? TikTok at
Yeah,
the
give
very
it
least.
give it another peek. You never know.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Yeah,
yeah,
I think so. I think that's something that artists could benefit from hearing. That we get tired of things faster than other people. So
yeah, agreed.
yeah,
And it's like sync licensing. That's a whole other world too. It's like timeless. I think the song we created it is timeless for sure. And it's like it could be placed in like as we were exploring behind the scenes, like in TV, commercials, video games, other avenues as well. And I think that's like important to touch upon too. Is that like with sync licensing, there's so much opportunity for everybody. It doesn't have to be like quote unquote the best of the best song. There's a time and place for any song for sure.
no,
If that
absolutely,
makes any
yeah,
sense.
and I think it's very syncable. I think we should continue to find a home for that, because I definitely want to push for that.
I do too. And
Yeah,
it's like even with my catalog in general, it's like it's an ongoing thing I continue to do. So
yeah.
yeah.
LA has a lot of good sync companies. There could be a couple that you could try find. Even like I know people say no to cold pitching, but even if you want to give it a go,
Cool.
just
I've
a
cold
couple.
pitched. I've cold pitched
You do?
myself
See, you
for
gotta
Think
do
Life. I
it.
just sent like hundreds of emails from one time. So
Yeah.
I didn't even
You gotta
care.
do
So
it.
yeah.
There's a polite way to go about it. I think like the horrible way to go about cold pitching, which I think why is so frowned upon, is almost asking for something as if you're owed it. And it's like, no, you're cold pitching, so just be
Just like
thankful
the
and
one
polite.
polite way of doing it, just like send the email, and then send like one follow up email like 2 or 3 weeks after. If they don't take it or they don't respond back, then that's that's your answer, you know.
Yeah.
In
It
some
was
way.
a no, and that's okay.
And
Yeah.
there's always other people that will say yes. I think, you know, in life and
I was
stuff.
I was watching this TV show or an interview of do you know the Mormons?
I feel like I've heard of that. Yeah.
So I found out about the Mormons through my brain gets obsessed. I love patterns. So my I was watching South Park,
Oh right. Yeah.
and they have a episode that they turned into a musical called The Book of Mormons, and it's about this community of, I think they're a branch of Christianity. Um,
Right. Yeah.
and I watched this theater production. I was like blown away. I was like, "Whoa! How is this in today's culture like an acceptable show to have uh, perform live?" Like I was like, "Whoa! This is very cancelable." I was like blown away. So I learned about the community, and every young man and woman, I think, they go on a mission, and they go door to door spreading their book. And what they learn along the way, and why so many people from this community end up being very good business people, a lot of them succeed in the business world, is because they understand that no is to be expected and yes is the exception. So they knock on, like, by the time they've knocked on the 100th door and had 99 no's, they get their final one yes. And so they do this again and again and again for like a long period of time. I don't know how long. And they get used to being told no. And that allows them to not be discouraged in business, and it allows them to thrive when chasing after their own companies and stuff like that. And that's a I have struggled with no in the past, especially because music is a creative art form and it's so tied to the
If it's
psyche.
such a strong song, then especially it's like that's hard to hear sometimes. And it's like
For sure.
you can apply this to like anyone can apply this to like record label pitching. You know, there's a lot
Yeah.
of rejection with demos, pitching demos to labels, and it's like it's part of it. And it's kind of going on your principle of like sending as like eventually there will be one yes, you know.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And like I just so yeah, I've been this is something that I'm applying to myself. So I'm just sharing that little piece of journey. And it's tough because music comes from the soul, like it comes from here. So you're showing a piece of you, and that's up for being judged. And it's completely understandable why so many artists struggle with that. You know?
yeah, because it comes from the soul, and it's like we're telling a story. You know, like at least some of us are telling like a full like storyline within my music, at least, and it's just like it can get very personal. So it's like
Yeah,
relatable for sure. You know.
yeah. Anyways, tell me more about what's up with you with the rebrand. What do you want to share on
Yeah,
here?
yeah. So
Anything that you want to share?
yeah, I can share. Um, I think for me, I'm with a new brand agency person, not so much a manager, kind of like a manager, but not really. But it's like he's also helping me with other opportunities down the line once I do this rebrand, which is just another like different new logo, new press photos, new like visual aesthetic. So where it feels like so called like more mature looking, so to speak.
Okay.
Um, and I think eventually I want to bring back the light up jacket and glasses in a way that's unique too. And I think conceptually he helped me um, put together all the pieces within my brand. So like there's a there's a term we're coining like cyber spiritualism, which is like within like the whole world that I built, which is just higher power stuff, I think. So there's elements of that sprinkled into my brand for people to like discover in a subtle way, I think.
Nice.
um
So taking you and putting it through a template so it can be digestible for others.
Pretty much, yeah. And
Nice.
it's kind of like drawing inspiration from movies like Dune and Blade
Hmm.
Runner and like the new Tron Ares movie too, even to a degree, um movies like that, and like incorporating that into my whole story world, so to speak, and portraying that through the music, because there's more, because my music never used to be so much spiritual, and now it's going to be, I think, through my
Okay.
recent experiences, I think have helped shape that too, in a way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's nice that like you're pulling from film because there's a lot of like with cinema there's so much it's such a visual form of storytelling. Um and I mean music is telling a story. So
Mhm.
it can be a really cool way to reference and like think about how you build the story with those formats of film as well because they communicate that spiritualism in a very effective way where lots of people can relate. Um, so I don't know if that's something that you want to pull from there, but
That's
the whole
I am pulling from there as well, like
awesome.
inspiration from those movies into that, with what you're
Yeah.
saying. So yeah. And it's like
How
there's this
exciting.
one Instagram person. I think her name is Olivia Mancuso. She's in the States here. She's kind of like a music business, social media influencer person, DJ, I think maybe. And she was saying that like once an artist becomes the subject matter of a strong opinion, it's like everyone's eyes is on that person, you know, on
It's
social media.
interesting.
So it's kind of like that's kind of where I'm shifting my brand. It's like, you know, we're thinking like what is God? Who is God? What is this high, who is the higher power? It's like everyone has so strong opinions about their spiritual or religious beliefs. It's like and then like bringing that into like a whole futuristic cyberpunk world where they think like maybe no one maybe there is no God. This is just a concept, obviously, but it's like, you know
I mean, why not? Why not
why
have it as
not?
a
It's a story,
yeah.
and it's like where there's like corporations are trying to like take, you know people's like so-called soul away. It's like, that's kind of like lightly like what my brand is also about too. It's like bringing back like, oh, let the people believe what they want to believe.
Oh, I love that message. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's
Let
like,
people have their own opinions.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's kind of like going back into what this podcast was saying. It's like I feel like my brand could very well be like I don't know, in a few years I could be like the subject matter of that strong opinion, and everyone's eyes are going to be like on me, and then it's going to be a lot of like negativity coming my way, a lot of positivity coming my way too at the same time. And it's like, it's a
How do you
lot to
think
navigate, like online
how
music
do you
stuff.
think so let's say with that, let's say you have become a subject of that opinion and you've achieved that. How do you feel you will navigate when there will be big highs as well as big lows? Because the big highs are also unstabling sometimes as well, you know?
Yeah.
Like a lot of compliments can be wobbling.
And a lot of
Um,
negativity can just like drag someone down. It's going to be like a whole new world to navigate, I feel like. And I think having
how do you
people in
think
my
you'll go about
corner,
it?
yeah, like
Yeah.
having people in my corner that like know me. And I think professionals on, like, I mean, I think everyone needs a counselor of some sort, or life
Hmm.
coach. I think that's helpful, to some degree, or a lot, depending on the person. So I think that's how I'll navigate that in the future. And I already have like teams of people in place in all aspects of my life, like personal life, music career life, other areas of my life. So it's just like, I think I have all these like systems and teams in place now to be prepared for that moment, I think, you know.
Whatever.
Luckily, because
Nice.
before I couldn't say that, but now I can, I think.
No, you can. Yeah, and that, I mean, having people that you can like when you slip, they'll catch you back. That's irreplaceable.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're at 25 minutes now. The last question I think we'll leave this at is like, where do you think the future is going? You know, with all of AI, with all of like what's portrayed in sci-fi, so to speak. Do you think we're going to be there one day? I asked everyone this question, so.
There's so many possible answers. I think my mind shifts through a couple things. I think the workplace, one way or another, the way like the 9 to 5 system is currently at, is going to change. I think self-reliant skills will probably become more valuable. One thing that I don't think is going to be replaced is human connection. So I think no matter what you do, being able for one human to connect to another, I think that won't be replaced. Um, and I do think there is a big, the more technology has developed, the only thing that I have seen is people more desperately want to be close to one another and want to connect more and more. They just find it harder to learn how to do it because they do less of it and they need, I mean, humans learn by doing and seeing and hearing and replicating and, you know, communicating, I think, is going to continue to become a bigger and bigger skill through connection, not just being able to say things well or be on camera well or do a cool video on social media well, but actually being able to connect to people and hitting their hearts. So I think that will stay no matter what changes, which is good for us because that we're in that business
Yeah.
and we want that. I mean, we do it because we want connect. I mean, I do it because I want connection. I want to relate to other people. So yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So no matter what.
Very, very well said answer, I think. So,
Thank you.
yes. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Layla, for, um, you know, spending some of your time here, and some of your time and just doing this podcast means a lot.
Thank you for, I mean, it's been so long, so thank you so much for taking the time yourself. Like, I've missed you. So I'm
Yeah,
glad we could take some
it's
time, you
cool to
know?
catch up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Absolutely.
yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much, everyone. See you in the next podcast.